My name is Ash. I'm made of paper. And sometimes, I wonder why are human beings so afraid of people who look different? When I was growing up in Korea, there was no internet, no smartphones. And if someone looked different, people stared. At that time, the people who suffered the most were often mixed-race children. Korea had not grown as a country of many races and cultures, so even slightly different hair, skin, or eyes could make someone feel like an outsider. There were words people used back then that today would be unacceptable. But at the time, people spoke them casually, as if humiliation was normal. When I was in first grade, there was a boy in our class. I don't remember his name anymore, but I remember his curly hair and brown eyes. He was bigger than the rest of us. And every day, children mocked him. They called him Ramen Hair. Eventually, that became his name. "Hey, Ramen Hair! Hey, Ramen Hair!" over and over again. I never joined them, but I never stopped them either. And maybe that matters too. I remember the boy often sitting alone. Then one day he suddenly transferred to another school. After that, I never saw him again. Years later, in 2007, I moved to New York as a television correspondent. At the time, many Americans knew Korea only through the Korean War or North Korea. People often asked me, North or South? Finding interviews was difficult, but strangely, some of the kindest people I met were African Americans. A few told me they had once been stationed in Korea, and because I was Korean, they wanted to help me. I still remember that warmth. In Korea, many had mocked people who looked like them, but they chose kindness instead. In the Bible, before Peter visits Cornelius, he has a strange dream on a rooftop. In the dream, God shows him things Peter had always believed were unclean, but God tells him, "Do not call anything impure that God has made clean." Acts 10:15. And Peter slowly realizes the dream was not really about food, it was about people, about the mistake of believing some human beings are less worthy than others. Because skin, hair, and faces are seen immediately, but a soul is not. Sometimes people think racism disappears when society becomes modern. But cruelty does not disappear just because it becomes quieter. And maybe the real question is this: how do we treat people when they feel like strangers? Because one day, we may become strangers too. And when that day comes, I hope someone remembers that we are human before we are anything else.